Time and time again, we have seen Donald Trump emboldening racists and xenophobes across the country, really bringing out the worst qualities in his supporters. And last week, we saw a college student at Ole Miss, or the University of Mississippi, get kicked out of his frat after he was caught engaging in racist behavior. He was caught on camera making racist gestures towards another college student. And what do Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans decide to do in response to this? Do they condemn it? No, Trump decides to actively boost this video, therefore further emboldening racist behavior like this. Now, before I play the video, I want to provide some context. We all know there have been massive pro-Palestine protests going on across college campuses over the past few weeks, and in response to this, a bunch of frat boys decided to hold counter-protests where they chant stuff like "We want Trump" and just hold these vaguely pro-America protests. When asked why they were counter-protesting, a lot of the college students said they didn't really know why, they just didn't like the protesters that were there, and that's fine. Even MAGA frat boys have the right to protest, the right to assemble. That's not the problem here. The problem comes when they begin to engage in this egregious racist behavior towards other college students. In the video I'm about to play, we see a frat boy making racist monkey gestures towards the black student in the video. I'm about to play this clip, and I'm going to break down why I think the MAGA movement lacks empathy. Play the clip. I'm sure those college dudes consider themselves to be alpha males, yet it takes 50 of them just to intimidate a single college-aged woman. But the worst part about this was we saw Donald Trump using this exact video in an ad that he posted on Truth Social just days later. Play this clip.
I think the most popular college students right now are the ones at UNC.
God bless those UNC frat guys for taking down the Palestinian flag and putting up Old Glory.
Giving us some hope there that not all college students have gone woke.
They should be celebrated for, and what might be more rare is their bravery.
Again, they're so brave that it takes 50 of them to intimidate a single woman, and they didn't even succeed at that. But this is not the first time Donald Trump has boosted egregious behavior like this. Just a few months back, he posted a video where you see a pickup truck with a decal that shows President Biden hog-tied in the back. And back in 2020, he boosted a video of his supporters chanting white power in Florida. And Donald Trump wasn't the only politician to boost this video. MAGA Representative Mike Collins from Georgia posted the video in its entirety and said, "Ole Miss, taking care of business." By taking care of business, do you mean being racist assholes to other college students? Mike Collins is also the person who tweeted out about RFK Jr. having a worm in his brain, and what he said is, "You either die a Kennedy with a hole in the brain or live long enough to become a Kennedy with a hole in the brain." Mike Collins must have a 4chan teenager running his Twitter account, but either way, it is absolutely terrible that we have representatives boosting stuff like this, making dark jokes like this when they can't even get anything passed in Congress. This brings me to my broader point, which is that MAGA Republicans lack empathy for anybody whose lived experiences don't map onto their own lived experiences. Time and time again, we see Republicans just not caring about issues until it affects them personally. I grew up with somebody who was anti-abortion their entire lives until they got into college, got a girlfriend, and had a pregnancy scare of their own. Then all of a sudden they are ardently pro-choice. In the same way that people will be homophobic until they have a gay nephew of their own, and then they start to realize, they start to understand the plight of LGBTQ people in America. Which leads me to believe that a lot of the racism we see coming out of the MAGA movement stems from a lack of understanding of Black Americans' lived experiences, or the history of Black people in America and how we got to where we are today. In the same way that a lot of Republicans want to shut the border down because they fail to understand the experiences of people trying to come over here for a better life. They can't empathize with those experiences until it's something that happens to them personally. Another great example is this video that went viral yesterday of MAGA sycophant Johnny McKenzie, who is one of the people spearheading Project 2025, you know, that authoritarian authoritarian plan drafted by the Heritage Foundation that lays out the step-by-step blueprint of implementing a Christian theocracy. But Johnny McKenzie released a video yesterday where he talks about homeless people in a disgusting manner, and it's obviously because he just has a lack of empathy. Let's play this clip.
So I always keep this fake Hollywood money in my car, so when a homeless person asks for money, then I give them like a fake $5 bill. So I feel good about myself, they feel good. And then when they go to use it, they get arrested. So I'm actually like helping clean up the community, you know, getting them off the street.
I'm sure he won't have that smug, satisfied smile on his face when he realizes that you can get up to 20 years in prison for distributing counterfeit money in America. But Johnny claims he was joking when he made that video, but that's equally as disgusting. Right-wingers say they have dark humor, but that's not dark, that is just sick, especially for somebody who claims to be a man of Christ. Number one, it's not very Christ-like. Number two, that is antithetical to the teachings of the Bible. And number three, could you imagine Jesus Christ going around handing out fake money to homeless people? Never. That is absolutely disgusting. And again, this just wraps around to my broader point of Republicans lacking empathy for fellow Americans or people across the globe whose lived experiences don't map onto their own. And I'm not going to say John McKenzie is a sociopath, but I truly think you have to be lacking some fundamental capacities up there in your brain to think that's an okay thing to do or to even joke about. But for a little bit of backstory on who McKenzie is as a person, in 2018, McKenzie was bruised but not broken by his own unhousing from the White House on the orders of John Kelly, the former U.S. Marine Corps general who was Trump's second chief of staff. A former college football quarterback, McKenzie was Trump's body man, an aide who follows the president closely to make sure every need is met. Kelly reportedly fired him over security clearance issues related to an online gambling habit. So maybe McKenzie isn't that much different than the people he likes to torment. In 2020, McKenzie returned to the White House as director of the Presidential Personnel Office, though The Atlantic would later quote a high-profile Trump cabinet secretary as calling McKenzie a effing idiot. The same outlet quoted another senior official as saying he became the deputy president. As described by The Atlantic, McKenzie led a fierce drive for loyalty, which made the disastrous last weeks of the Trump presidency possible, backing the president's manic drive to overturn the election and helping set the stage for the January 6th assault on the Capitol. McKenzie is widely reported to be involved in preparations for a Trump second term meant to feature far-reaching reforms under the label Project 2025 and purges of government officials deemed insufficiently loyal. This is what we're up against. These are the types of people we are voting against come November. These are the types of people spearheading Project 2025, which is the plan for Donald Trump to appoint tens of thousands of loyal and vetted civil servants to key positions in the government. The plan to strip independency from other agencies, the three-letter agencies that Trump has been attacking, and to basically consolidate power within the executive branch. It is actually genuinely a threat to our democracy, and we have ghoulish people like this writing the plan for Donald Trump. These are the stakes in 2024. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to MeidasTouch, subscribe to my channel, Adam Mockler, for more breaking news commentary. Most importantly, have a great Monday, everyone.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.